Okay, Miha. Today we're going to be talking about interacting with web APIs, application programming interfaces. It's chapter 608. There are many APIs out there, for example, for cryptocurrency, for science, for space, for movie, for music, and so forth. What it is you get a URL that's a little bit different, and instead of bringing back a web page, it returns data. Okay, so we need to import requests, JSON, JavaScript object notation, and date. Example A. This URL here returns data about what are the astronauts that are currently in space. We use the request get function with the URL to get a response. I've printed here the response status code. If it's 200, it means success. There's a list of them, you can Google them. Now we have a function that prints a formatted string of the Python JSON object that comes of the JSON object that comes in the response. This is a function that's going to be called down here. The function is json.dumps with an object. You can say that you want your keys sorted and the indentation of the text. And here I have printed, the function prints the text. This is the call to the function. It's called I called it JSON print, and you need to put the argument there as response JSON. This is what you get for the astronauts that are in space right now. Oh, first the code is 200, which means it's okay, the return code, the status code. This is the JSON structure that looks pretty much as it is a dictionary. And we have these 7 astronauts up there. They're all in the International Space Station. Example B. In example B, we return JSON data about the next times that the ISS, the International Space Station, will pass over a given location on the Earth. And you will need the coordinates. I have here the coordinates for Manhattan and Miami. They start in a place in England, and if you move west of that, the coordinate will be negative. If you move south from the equator, the latitude would also become negative. This is the longitude. So we're going to be running this example with Miami. The URL for the JSON data, the API, is this one, and we're going to be using those the latitude and longitude parameters. We get the response. We store the responses in past times. We establish a list called rise times when the station would come up from the horizon. It comes up on the west. And then we run a loop with the past times, accumulate the times on that variable, and then we print them. Now, the format that function outputs is seconds since January 1st, 1970. This is a Microsoft date that they established as the first date ever. So that format is called a timestamp or epoch. But we can use Python's datetime from timestamp method to convert these into an easier to understand time. We have a times array. We loop into the array appending all the times, and we print that. And this is the output here. So we have the original epoch times in seconds since January 1st, 1970 there. And we get 4 ascension times where the International Space Station will come up on February 16 at those times. That is it for today, sweetie. Isn't that cool though? Alright, I love you very much. Hope you come back safely.